So let's talk a little bit about why do we need marketing intermediaries or marketing channel members. Ideally for me, if I create a product and I can sell directly to the consumer, so then that's when I'll make the most profit, right? So for example, if I create a specific product, I'm interested in carpentry work, right? So if I created a specific, let's say a table, and I can sell it directly to the consumers, then there is no middleman, so I can make all the profit through the transaction. Whenever I incorporate someone in the middle to help me sell my products, for example, if I let's say so for example, if I involve a third party, like I want to sell the product that I created and I use Amazon. Now Amazon is a third party seller. It's a marketing intermediary who is a marketing channel member. So if I use Amazon to sell my product to the consumers, what's going to happen is Amazon is going to demand a certain amount of profit for the services that they have rendered to me. So that would mean that the ultimate profit that I'm going to get is going to be less, and the consumers are also going to pay more. I for example, when we talk about pricing, one of the things that you would have to incorporate into your thought process in terms of how much the consumer will be paying for your product is to put the commissions or put the margins for the middleman as well. So for example, if you want the consumers to pay $50 and you are selling through Amazon, then you would need to price your product accordingly. So that would mean that the amount of profit that you make is going to be less. For example, it cost you $30 to make the product. Now, if you'd sold directly to the consumers, you could sell it for $50 and you'd make a $20 profit. But if you use Amazon, then Amazon would demand a certain commission. So depending upon the product category, Amazon charges a certain percentage of commission for their services, right? So why do we use marketing channel intermediaries if they are going to increase the ultimate price for the consumers and reduce my profit? So if I have more channel members in my marketing channel system, then in that case my profit margins will go down, or the consumers will have to pay substantially more than if there were no marketing intermediaries, right? So in this sense, we kind of think that marketing channel members are something that is not good, right? Because they eat into our profit margin and they ultimately cost consumers more money. But the marketing channel members exist for a reason, because if they did not provide value to the consumers, if they did not provide value to the manufacturers, then as anything else in business, they would not exist. Things in business and in marketing only exist. Products and services only exist because they provide certain value, right? So if you think about the marketing intermediaries or channel members like Amazon, Walmart, wholesalers, distribution system, all of them provide certain value to the manufacturer or the consumer, and that is why they exist. So we will briefly talk about the different values that the marketing channel intermediaries provide. And one of the biggest value that they provide is contact efficiency. So basically, marketing channel members provide contact efficiency by reducing the number of contacts that the manufacturer or the company would need to make, as well as the number of contacts that the consumer would have to make. Now, if you go to a regular farmer's market, you will see that there are a lot of different farmers in the market who have their own product, right? So a farmer might be selling potatoes, another farmer might be selling pumpkins, another farmers might be selling spinach, right? And if you go to a butcher, then the butcher will have different kinds of meat that they are selling, right? To go to a farmer's market, then what you will see is that you have to go to a lot of different shops in order to get your shopping done. Now, imagine if you are the farmer and you are selling potatoes, right? So if there are 10 different consumers who want to buy your potato, then what you will have to do is you will have to maintain contact with all of the 10 different consumers, right? So all of the 10 different consumers will come to you, you will have to talk to them, and then you will have to render them services. So you also have to make 10 different contacts, right? So the total number of contact that is being made here is 10 contacts for the consumers, and each of those 10 consumers have to make 4 contacts of their own if they are making the same dinner that I am making, right? So the number of contacts is really, really huge. But now consider that there is a middleman like Walmart, right? If Walmart is there, then what the farmer can do is the farmer can just basically sell to Walmart. So the farmer only needs to make one contact. So what Walmart has provided in this sense is that it has provided value both to the manufacturer as well as the consumer, So this is a very important value that the marketing channel intermediaries bring to the table and is called contact efficiency. So another type of value that the marketing channel intermediaries provide is in terms of time utility. So generally what will happen is that the consumer wants to buy the product at one specific point of time, right? But the manufacturer has their own schedule of when and how they will create their products. So Kellogg's has their own production schedule, Tesla has their own production schedule, Ford, Samsung have all their own production schedules, right? So they will produce their product in regular intervals. So the temporal discrepancy is nothing but basically there is a difference in when the consumer wants to buy the product and when the manufacturer is going to manufacture the product, right? So for example, Ford might have manufactured the product that I wanted to buy 6 months ago, but I want to buy a Ford or a car right now, right? So there is a temporal discrepancy between when the manufacturer manufactures the product and when the consumer wants to buy the product. And what the marketing intermediaries do in this case of dealership is that they would hold the product in inventory, right? So they would buy the product from the manufacturer when they manufacture the product. They would hold it in their inventory and then they would sell it to me when I want to buy the product. So they are taking care of this discrepancy between when the consumer wants to buy and when the manufacturer wants to sell. Another value that they bring to the table is by taking care of the spatial discrepancy. So there is a problem in terms of where the manufacturer is manufacturing the product and where the consumers are. So the manufacturer of a lot of different products are located in many parts of the world, sometimes even abroad, right? Many of our products are manufactured in a lot of different countries. So, but I am here, right? And when I want to buy the product, I'm not going to go to where the manufacturer is to buy the product, but I'm going to the place that is the most convenient for me, right? I'll go to a local store to buy the product, and if the local store did not exist or the marketing channel members did not exist, then I would be forced to go wherever the manufacturer is to buy that particular product. So there is a spatial discrepancy in the sense that the manufacturers are producing their product wherever they are producing it, and the consumers want their product wherever they are. So there is a discrepancy between the space. And that spatial discrepancy is also being taken care of by the marketing channel members, right? And that's also how they are providing value. Now, another type of discrepancy that exists is in terms of assortment discrepancy. So assortment discrepancy is the assortment of product that a consumer wants is very different than the assortment of product that a company will produce. Kellogg's, as we well know, is a food manufacturer, right? So they provide a lot of different products and all of them are food products. For example, if you look at Kimberly-Clark, then they're a different company. They provide toilet papers, they provide tissues. If you look at Johnson & Johnson, then they have their medicines, they have their hand sanitizers, and they also produce a lot of different products. If you look at Procter & Gamble, they produce anything from our shampoo to our health products to our hair care products to all the different assortment of product that they produce. And me as a consumer, I have my own unique needs and wants in terms of the assortments of product that I want. Some of the product that I want are being sold by Johnson & Johnson. Some of the product that I want is being sold by Kimberly-Clark. Some of the product that I want is being sold by Procter & Gamble. Some of the products that I want is being sold by the local farmers, right? So there are an assortment of product that the consumers need. Now what the marketing channel intermediaries are doing is they are building an inventory where they have all these assortments of product, right? So I can just go to Walmart and I can buy the assortment of product that I want to buy. So in this way, again, the marketing channel intermediary is providing value to the consumers by making it possible for me to buy an assortment of product. Another discrepancy that the marketer is again taking care of is the quantity discrepancy. It basically is that the quantity of the product that the consumer wants to buy is very, very different than the quantity of the product that the manufacturer wants to sell. So any manufacturer we know will be producing hundreds of thousands of products. Right? They will produce hundreds of thousands of spoons, they will produce hundreds of thousands of cars, they will produce hundreds of thousands of apples. All of the different products are being manufactured in bulk by the manufacturer. But me as a consumer, I only want a specific number. I maybe want only 10 apples. I know that I'll only be needing 1 or 2 car for the next 5 or 10 years. I maybe only need 3 or 4 TVs or 1 TV, but the manufacturer is producing many products, right? So now there is a discrepancy between the amount of product that the manufacturer wants to sell, and there is a discrepancy between the amount of product or quantity of product that the consumer wants to buy. So there is this quantity discrepancy, and this discrepancy is also being taken care of by the marketing channel members. They buy from bulk, however many the manufacturer wants to sell. The marketing channel intermediaries will buy, and how many ever the consumer wants to buy, the marketing channel intermediary will break it down into smaller pieces and sell me however many I want to buy. So they're taking care of this quantity discrepancy as well. So another value that the marketing intermediaries provide is in terms of specialization or division of labor. So if I ask you the question, what is Apple really good at? Then you would probably say that Apple is a technologically innovative company and they are really good at coming up with new innovative products, right? So Apple is really good at research and development in technology, and they always come up with the next big thing in electronics, right? They come up with the iPhone, they come up with their earbuds, they're going into Apple car, right? So they are a company that creates a lot of products and thereby creates a lot of value for the consumer. But at the same time, if I asked you, is Apple really good at distributing the product to the consumer or getting the products into the consumer's hand? Is Apple as good as selling their products as they are in creating the products? Or are there any other companies that are better at selling products to the consumers than Apple? If Apple thinks that other companies or other marketing intermediaries or channel members can sell their product more efficiently than Apple, then it would behoove Apple to actually outsource the distribution part of their product to these third-party intermediaries, which would be the marketing channels. Generally, many of the companies are really good at producing products, right? If you think about Procter and Gamble, they have a bunch of products that they produce, but they are not really good at selling those products to the consumers. Walmart is much better at selling the products to the consumers. Like Walmart specializes in selling the products to the consumers. Target specializes in selling the products to the consumer. Best Buy specializes in selling the product to the consumer. Another way that the marketing channel members provide value, sometimes depending upon product category, is also called form utility. So form utility, F-O-R-M, form utility, is when the consumers might want to buy the product that is in a different form or slightly different form than what the manufacturer is producing at. If I go to a certain restaurant, I want to eat hot dog, let's say, then the manufacturer has produced the hot dog and the hot dog is not cooked, right? But the retailer will cook the hot dog so that so I as a consumer can eat the hot dog, right? So they have changed the form. Another really good example is Coca-Cola as well. Coca-Cola, when it distributes its products throughout the world, is actually just sending out their concentrated powder, right? So the Coke formula they are sending out all over the world, and it is the middleman, the bottling companies that are all over the world who actually buy the Coke's formula from Coke, and they do all the mixing to create the liquid Coke that we consume, right? So in this case, the marketing channel intermediaries are again created value by changing the form of the product itself.